Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Learn English. I'm your host, Jessica.
And I'm Daniel. We're so excited to have you with us today. In this podcast, we help you improve your English in a fun and natural way.
Exactly. And today we have a really useful topic. We're going to talk about how to talk about your job or your school in English.
This is a big one. It's probably one of the first questions people ask when they meet you, right? So, what do you do? It's like the classic small talk question.
It totally is. And it can be a little stressful if you don't know what to say. So we want to give you some easy, natural sounding phrases to use. Let's start with jobs.
Sounds good. So, the simplest way to answer what do you do is just to state your job title.
Right. The structure is I'm a or I am an, depending on the word. So you could say I'm a teacher or I'm an engineer.
Yeah, pretty simple. I'm a doctor, I'm a software developer, I'm a graphic designer. That's a perfect, simple answer.
Mm-hmm. But what if you want to give a little more information, like where you work?
Oh, good question. You could add the company you work for. You can say, I work at or I work for. For example, I work at a small tech company or I work for Google.
Right. So you could combine them. I'm a software developer and I work for a startup in San Francisco.
Exactly. That gives so much more context. Another way to expand on your answer is to briefly describe what you do. Your responsibilities.
Oh, yeah, that's really helpful because sometimes a job title, it doesn't really explain what you do day to day.
Totally. So you could use a phrase like, I'm responsible for. So a project manager might say, I'm responsible for making sure our team completes projects on time.
Or you could say, my job involves, I'm a nurse. My job involves taking care of patients in the emergency room. It makes it much clearer.
That's a great one. So let's try a quick, like a role play. You ready, Jessica?
I'm ready. Ask away.
Okay. Hey, Jessica. Nice to meet you. So what do you do?
Hi, Daniel. It's great to meet you too. I'm a marketing manager for a company that sells eco friendly products. My job mainly involves creating online advertising campaigns.
Wow. See, that was perfect. It was clear, concise, and it gives me a few things to ask follow up questions about. Like, oh, eco friendly products. That's cool.
Exactly. It opens up the conversation. So that's a great set of tools for talking about your job. But what if you're a student? This is a big question for our listeners who are, still in school.
Right. Because answering I'm a student is fine. But just like with jobs, you can add more detail to make it more conversational.
So how would you do that?
Well, you can start by saying what you're studying. The most common phrase is I'm studying, followed by your subject. For example, I'm studying business or I'm studying computer science.
Yeah, or if you're in college or university, you can talk about your major. You'd say, my major is, so my major is history, or my major is biology.
Totally. And people also often mention the university they attend. You can use the phrase I go to or I'm a student at, like I go to the University of Toronto or I'm a student at UCLA.
Mm-hmm. And just like with the job examples, you can combine these to give a really full answer.
You absolutely can. Let's create an example. Someone asks you, what do you do? And you could reply, I'm a student at Columbia University and my major is journalism.
That's a perfect answer. It's informative and it sounds supernatural. It gives the other person a lot to work with for the rest of the conversation. They could ask about your classes or what you think of the university, stuff like that.
For sure. The goal is always to keep the conversation flowing, and adding these little details really helps with that.
Okay, so wow, that was a lot of great information, Daniel. I think it's probably a good time to do a quick recap.
Good idea. So, to review, when talking about your job, you can say, you can mention where you work with I work for, and you can describe your duties with I'm responsible for or my job involves.
Right. And if you're a student, you can say, I'm studying, talk about your major using my major is, and mention your school by saying, I go to.
And remember, the best answers often combine these phrases to give a little more detail and keep the conversation interesting.
Yes, our homework for all of you listening is to practice this. Think about your own job or your school situation and create a 1 or 2 sentence answer using the phrases we talked about today. Say it out loud.
That's the best way to get comfortable. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on Let's Learn English.
It was great having you. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube for more tips and updates. Until next time, keep practicing.
Bye, everyone.